Frank? What are you doing here?
We're doing a free Wi-Fi. It's one of the hippest places in New York. This is a great place to write, and I'm putting together film reviews for a book.
And you just happen to be here.
You always got art supplies on your afternoon off, and then you came to get coffee and do work, and I took a chance. I've been thinking about you. I want to talk.
About signing the papers, right?
No.
You've had a year to talk. I have grades due tomorrow. I need to leave.
Please, can't you stay?
Didn't you just hear me?
I heard you.
I need to get something straight.
What's that?
I emailed you twice about the drip painting I did in grad school, the one that looks like a Jackson Pollock ripoff. I want it back. You didn't answer. Why didn't you answer?
Why do you still care about it? That was 20 years ago when you did that.
So what? I wasn't a kid. I was almost 30. And what difference does that make anyway?
You gave it to my mother.
I lent it to your mother.
She thinks it's hers.
Bye, Frank.
Oh, wait. Honey, I can't stop thinking about us. I'm dreading tomorrow. Can we talk about something else?
There's nothing else to talk about.
Yes, there is. There's stuff, other stuff. Did you go to Provincetown?
I went alone. That's what you want to talk about? You want to pretend we're just hanging out, rambling about films like we always did? Is that it?
Tell me about the festival, please. Nice, neutral topic. Hated to miss it.
So why did you?
Couldn't leave New York. I was on a deadline. I had to review 3 shorts from Tribeca. I had screeners to watch, a lot of screeners.
You work on your laptop. You can be anywhere. You could have gone to Provincetown to review those films, but you chose not to because you were afraid you'd run into me, right? Isn't that right, Frank?
It was stupid. Where'd you stay?
Same B&B on Johnson Street. The owners asked about you. Listen, this is awkward. I can't do this. I should go. Just tell your mother I need the painting.
No, wait. It's been forever. What's going on?
You walked out. That's what's going on.
You pushed me out. I mean, neither of us could handle the relationship.
You're really nervy. I email you about that painting and you don't answer, but you show up here today out of the blue.
Oh, just talk to me. Tell me about the festival. Let's keep it at that. Favorite movie?
I'm not talking about movies now, Frank.
All right. Forget movies, not movies. Forget movies. I'm asking you what you liked. What did you like?
Beautiful Darling from 2010 about Candy Darling, the Warhol superstar, nothing current.
Why'd they show that now?
It was a night of award-winning documentaries.
She was a guy, right?
She was herself. That's the struggle. You know the Velvet Underground song, Walk on the Wild Side? It's about her, or Holly Woodlawn, one of them.
I knew that. You know, you always liked edgy films.
What's edgy about identity? It keeps changing how we see ourselves, right?
Yeah, I guess. So, how do you see yourself these days?
What happened to you and Sarah?
It's over. She's cold. Not like you. You brought out my extroverted side. She was always in her studio making art.
Why can't you ask your mother about my painting?
Because it'd be tacky.
Maybe you shouldn't have suggested I let her take it in the first place. You always do that. Talk me into doing something and then say it's a bad idea.
How's Marie?
We're now just friends. Still colleagues, no hard feelings. She's with her ex-husband now.
How does that happen? How do they go back?
She told me she had a party one weekend, and as she's getting ready, she's thinking of him. And so she calls. He's married but getting divorced. Anyway, they're back together.
Yeah, yeah. That's like in The Hours. Clarissa gives the party and she thinks of her ex-lover, except she realizes that she still loves her partner. Now, Meryl Streep was perfect as Clarissa, don't you think?
That's a movie. I'm not talking movies with you, Frank. Ask your mom about my painting.
Okay. But, so what if it was my idea to give it to her? I mean, you did it. You actually gave it to her. There's got to be a reason.
She got into the Whitney Biennial twice, and she's a big deal art professor at NYU. Plus, she had a show in Chelsea last year. I wanted to impress her. I wanted her to like it, not take it.
Yeah, well, she says your painting has a kind of raw, intuitive, outsider art quality. Aren't you flattered?
Thrilled. I wish my mom had the same opinion. She saw it in the basement and threw it in the trash. She shouldn't have stored anything there during my divorce. I had no choice. Luckily, I found it before the garbage truck came.
You know, you never told me that.
I never told you a lot of things. Tell your mom I want the painting back, unless you're afraid of her. You always were.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay. All right, maybe I am a little bit. My mom, though, she still asks about you. Do you know that?
She doesn't hate me? I thought she'd hate me.
No, but she might if you asked for it back. Because if you felt bad letting her take it, why didn't you just say something?
I didn't know it was important to me till now. I saw a Jackson Pollock show, and suddenly I'm putting canvas on the ground, and then I'm flinging paint on it like I'm in a trance, like I'm in Pollock's aura.
And I bet you painted that upstate on weekends with Robert.
Let's not talk about that. I read those drips Pollock made weren't random. They were controlled. Physicists compared them to high-level math like fractals. Isn't that amazing?
How's your mom? I mean, she's still,
She sounds like a distant voice on the radio. Now she only reads writers who committed suicide. When I'm with her, it's like I'm floating on the ceiling in a Chagall painting.
And your dad?
Finally got an email from him. He's in Guatemala with that student he married. She's like 30 years younger. He acts like an aging rock star. He thinks he's Mick Jagger.
Yeah, how many kids does he have now?
3. 3 with her. He decided to take over her 3 teenage boys. And so they're living in Guatemala now. Anyway, I really want that painting back, John. I don't understand why you just can't get it for me.
Well, you gave it away.
I let your mother take it because I couldn't look at it anymore when my dad left. I need it back now. Can you get it for me, please? I need it.
You know what I'm thinking? About us, you and me. Right now, we're in a love story, but it's told backwards.
Like 2 lovers that just don't know how to get it back, do they?
Yeah, it's like Blue Valentine.
Oh. I knew you were going to go there with that.
All right, well, maybe Candy Darling is old and iconic, but so is Blue Valentine. And you know what? They were made the same year, and you know how much that film kills me. I really wanted Sidney and Dean to stay together, didn't you?
I did, but I don't know about that now. I'm not sure. Maybe they shouldn't be together. I don't know.
Well, why don't you look at Marie and her ex-husband? They made it work.
But they were committed, brave enough to start again, to keep working on it. No running away like,
Yeah, running away like me, right? Just say it.
no, us. We played with trust. We both did.
Well, what did you expect me to do? Sit around and wait till you got sick of Marie?
You brought Sarah to the apartment on my birthday.
Oh, come on. We went over that a million times. I didn't expect you to walk in on us. And what did you want from Marie anyway? What were you looking for? What? Anything that wasn't me?
I don't know, intimacy, trust, love. What else is there?
And did you get it?
For a while.
Yeah. See, I think we still had it till the end. But maybe you were afraid I'd leave you like your dad did. And you set me up. You wanted to test me to see if I'd stay. And I guess I failed.
I want my painting back.
You know, it's the first thing you see when you walk into my mom's apartment. It looks like she designed her living room around it.
Maybe it was just the right size to fit over her couch. Maybe that's the reason she wanted it.
No, she loves it, and she knows whenever I come over, I think of you. She thinks we can work it out someday. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is. Listen, tell your mom what I said, and I'll see you tomorrow at the lawyer's.
Wait, don't you think it means anything that we're together the day before we sign the papers?
It means you had a plan to find me, and it worked.
No, it's got to mean something more. Everything means something.
Why? Because you wanted to? Or maybe nothing means anything. I'm not sure.
What? My mom still thinks of you as family.
What family? My mom's a disaster and yours isn't.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? All she thinks about is her art, how I was rejected from Yale. She doesn't let stuff go, no matter how old I get or what I accomplish. Everything I do is wrong. Yeah, to her, I'm never smart enough.
She can be mean. Everyone knows that. Anyway, she's almost my ex-mother-in-law now.
No, we're not divorced yet.
By tomorrow, we will be.
Wait. Here's something for you, okay? It's my mom's new gallery address. She opened a gallery in Williamsburg. Maybe she'll put your drip painting in a group show.
It's not for sale. Well, bye.
Wait. Can I borrow your charger?
You didn't bring one? How can you work without a charger?
I forgot it. And my phone's on empty. I need to look something up.
Use your laptop.
I can't. I'm in the middle of a download.
So what? Okay. Use my phone.
No. I need to charge mine. It won't take long. A few minutes.
Here. Frank?
Yeah.
Never mind.
What? You wanted to say something?
What are you looking for on the phone?
Netflix. Do you want to see what's playing tonight? I know you have grades to do. Yeah, you're probably too busy, but...
Yeah, I am. I have a lot of work, so...
coffee. Wake up.
Thank God.
Uh, just brewed, just brewed, just brewed. Oh, God, you look beautiful in the morning, as always. I mean, you're beautiful all the time. Come here, come here.
Not now. I can't think straight.
What? Why do you have to think right now anyway? Can't you just feel?
That's what I did last night. Now I'm trying to process this, being here.
Hon, do you still love me?
See, that's huge. That question, I can't answer that.
Well, then tell me. What was last night about?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, I thought it was about starting over.
I'm not there yet. We need to talk about it, the marriage.
Well, why don't we just focus on now? You seemed happy last night. What happened?
I woke up. I don't want to go back there. We were like a time bomb. When things got good, we found a way to sabotage it.
But that was then. Things are different now.
No, they're not. I'm still me.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
I'm who I was last year, an artist struggling for recognition in the art world, if it still exists. I have the same issues and the same needs, and so do you. Nothing's been resolved. Our signals still get crossed. You don't see me.
Yes, I do. Look, you're making things too complicated. Let's not go into this again. I mean, we're together now. Come on, let's celebrate. Coffee.
Need to see my shrink.
Ugh, you always need to see your shrink.
I spent a year trying to get you out of my life. I never expected to wake up here. You know, the painting, I always said it's alone. You'll get it for me, right? I need it.
Yeah, of course. Said I would. Hey, look, let's go to Central Park today, all right? Dinner at Carmine's, or let's take out and come back here.
I have to get to work later.
I thought you took the day off.
For the lawyer appointment, but I have a staff meeting later.
No, don't talk about the lawyer. That's the last thing I want to hear.
You're still a control freak. Don't tell me what to talk about.
Well, okay. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Just before I saw you yesterday, I read an article that says we all marry the wrong person. Weird, isn't it?
What, the article, or that you read it before we saw each other?
Both. It says we don't look for happiness. We look for what's familiar, like patterns. And then we repeat them, like drawing circles till we stop. It almost makes sense, but nothing does.
Look, I just texted my lawyer, canceled today. Did you contact yours?
It's not until 2 p.m. There's still time to cancel.
Oh, wow. So you're testing me again, huh? You're always testing me. Huh?
Don't you get sick of saying that?
Well, no, it's like, if I do okay, you'll stay. And if I don't, you'll leave. Go on, keep the appointment. But if you do, you're not giving us a chance.
I'm here, aren't I? Let's see what happens. Just let me breathe. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Well, what am I supposed to do while you decide? Gee. Why'd you come back here last night?
I was lonely. I wanted to see if there's anything left.
Well, there's a lot left.
Then get my painting back from your mother. Start there.
Why are you even still talking about this? I said I would.
Hey, does she live on West 75th? Tell her I'll send a messenger service to her lobby tomorrow afternoon to get it. I'll pay for everything. Done.
Maybe think about it first, though, before I ask her.
What's to think about? You just said you'd get it to me, and now you're saying you can't?
No, I'm just saying she loves it.
Who do I? This isn't about you and your mom, Frank. It's about you and me.
Yeah, well, what about the gallery if she wants to hang the painting in one of her shows?
I told you yesterday, it's not for sale. But if she really wants to, she'd have to ask, and I'd have to think about it.
That apartment won't be the same without your painting.
Which is it now? The painting, the apartment, the gallery?
The apartment. Every time I walk in there and see the painting, I think of you.
What does that even mean? You'd rather look at my painting and think of someone that's not me? Look at me, I'm here now, the real thing. And you can't deal with it.
When you get the painting back, will you put it in a gorgeous frame?
No, I'll cut it up.
Oh, wait, you want me to get it back from my mother so you can destroy it?
No, I'll reinvent it like Lee Krasner did. I'll glue the pieces together, turn them upside down. Make sure you mention Lee Krasner to your mom.
Yeah. Didn't he have something to do with Pollock?
She, the artist who married him. She had a show at MoMA in the 80s and cut up her paintings and collaged them. She made them new. When they met, she was much better known.
Right, that's what I thought. All right, look. I'll have my mom bring the painting to the lobby tomorrow. I'll text her and tell her.
Did you text her?
It's all good. She'll deal with it. It'll be fine.
Good. I'm glad that's over.
Me too. And guess what I feel like doing?
I can imagine. Didn't we both do that last night?
Well, yeah, but not enough. But no, I meant watching Blue Valentine again.
Oh yeah, of course. What else?
Now, that last scene, see, I've been rewriting it in my head for years, and it's just too easy to think that he won't come back.
Maybe she doesn't want him to. But yeah, change the narrative. You've thought about it for years. Don't just talk about it, do it for art.
I will, and I'm going to see if anyone wants to buy the screenplay. Why not, you know? I am so glad you stayed.
If you really want to watch it again now, I'll watch it with you.
Seriously? Oh, whoa, great. You won't be bored seeing it again.
No, I want to reassess how they try to hold on and how when they finally let go, we don't know why. The exact turning point, if there is one. Maybe there's a lot of them. I read that the screenwriter didn't even know what went wrong.
You know what?
What?
Never mind. Forget it.
You were going to say something.
No, I wasn't. I'm just glad we're going to go see the movie again.
You said, you know what? And then you said, never mind. What did you want to say?
Nothing. Maybe something about the film, about the characters.
What about them? Are you sure it was about the film?
I don't know.
Well, was it or wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Then tell me.
It's about my mom and the painting.
You're really starting this again? You can't drop it?
I want to, but I'm trying to be honest. Don't you want me to be honest?
Of course, but you're ruining it.
What? Rudy, what?
This, now, this moment.
And that's why I can't be honest. Because if I'm honest, I'm ruining something or I'm doing something wrong. And if I'm not, I must be lying.
Don't do that victim thing and then try to hide. You brought it up again. What about her?
She'll be mad.
So what?
I'm just saying the only thing that stands out in her place is your painting. Everything else is solid white. She meditates in front of it every day. She's got a psychic connection to it.
Tell her to get a psychic connection to something else. She's an artist. She'll hang one of her own paintings there or whatever.
She never does that. You know, she keeps them locked in her studio until she has a show. That's her thing.
You're worried about what your mom is going to hang over her couch?
That's not what I'm thinking.
You're worried she'll be mad and that she'll blame you. That's what you're thinking.
Oh, and how do you know what I'm thinking?
You didn't text her, did you?
Not yet. I thought maybe you'd change your mind.
Wow. What did I expect?
Oh, come on. Stop the drama. We're talking about an artwork, not about you or me. I mean, think about it in a different way. It's just a painting. You make a lot of them.
Wait, let me get my mind around this. I should just make another one?
I just meant...
You know what you meant? It doesn't seem to bother you that this is so personal to me, that relates to my dad.
It does. It bothers me.
Good. Then I'll give your mother a call and ask her myself.
Don't you do that.
Will you ask her? This time for real?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Don't ask. Tell her.
I will.
So all set. I'll plan for it to be picked up tomorrow. If anything changes, email me.
All right. Okay. Are we done talking about this?
You tell me.
Yeah.
Good. I'm exhausted.
Well, me too. I don't ever want to talk about this again.
Let's not.
I don't know why this happened.
I don't either.
I didn't mean to go on and on about this.
But you did.
We did.
Yeah. Well, stuff happens.
Sure does. Glad you understand.
Yeah, I do.
So, ready to see the movie?
I'm ready.
Should we have breakfast first?
No, but if you have more coffee, if there's any left.
Oh, yeah, there is. Go. But after the movie, let's stay downtown for brunch, okay? Maybe Vilsaco, we can sit outside, have blueberry pancakes. It's nice there, isn't it?
Very nice.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah. Now.
I can't really sing. I have to sing goofy in order to sing. Like I have to sing stupid. Okay?
Okay.
You always hurt the ones you love. The one you shouldn't hurt shit until the petals fall. You always bring the kindest hearts, and with a hasty word you can.
You're actually good.
Recall.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Cass. Thank you, Carolyn. If I could have everybody, wonderful job. If I could have everybody to come back, Carolyn as well.
Yes, I'm coming back. I just had to put my shirt back on.
Yeah, keep your clothes on. Definitely keep your clothes on.
I have to pay extra for that. Not that much, but a little bit.
Yes, and to our wonderful audience, feel free to chat, or you could also reach out in the Q&A. There's a Q&A section on your screen. You could also raise your hand if you want to ask a question or chime in or talk about the play or any of the above. But what we're going to do is I'm actually going to start. I'm going to start the conversation. So, and I'm going to take this to Carolyn first. So, Carolyn, I would love to know the genesis of this. How long have you been working on it? When did you start? Where the whole deal? And congratulations.
Thank you so much for everything. So it started a couple years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, as a small 10-minute play, which was the first scene. And it started at HB Studio. I had a couple readings of it. And then what I tend to do with my work is I start something and I put it away for a while. And then I took it back, and then I wrote the next scene. And then I had a couple of readings of it. And then again, I put it away. And then over the summer, I did some more stuff with it. And then I found out about the smartphone theater. And I developed it with Peter Flood, who was fabulous, and with you and the whole, the whole group. So it really was an incredible experience. But that's how it started.
Was there a spark of something that started the whole process?
It's usually a woman. I'm usually interested in women coming to, sort of coming into their own, power, and then somehow art seems to find its way in there. And so I started out with the idea of getting a divorce and feeling that it was over, and then suddenly, just at the last minute, sort of running into this person who you just spent a year in therapy working on, never seeing this person again. And then everything would just go, inside out. And so I just thought about that as an experience.
Great.
Yeah, kind of how it started.
Great. So I'm going to take this to Annette and to Jon. And Jon, the other Jon, I'll get to you in 1 second. So Annette and Jon, how did you come to this piece, actually? Talk about how did everybody find each other?
It's Carolyn.
Carolyn's my cousin.
That's true, yeah.
Carolyn and I have worked for several years on her plays, and we've worked together doing readings and working on the plays themselves and performing them. So we have a very nice collaborative kind of relationship, and we talk about these plays all the time. And this one just seemed the perfect Zoom kind of play.
Great. Yeah, great. And Jon, even though there's a little nepotism going on, it's still she wouldn't have given it to you if she didn't trust you. So
well, that's the only way I can get cast in anything. I gotta do.
Got it. Jon, yes. We have another Jon who had his hand up. I can't see your last name right now, but John D.
John Dapolito. Hi, how are you? How are you? Thanks for the night. Thanks for this reading. I wanted to go out to the playwright, Carolyn. I love this idea of this play and what you're doing here. I'm excited about this. Something about relationships and how they're lingering in our lives and unfinished business. And I was curious as to what you think is their unfinished business or holding them together. What's their pull? I mean, outside of, love, is there any other unconscious pulls you're thinking of, et cetera, inside the play?
I think that on some level, I think that Emily was actually wanting some connection with his mom, because her family was so empty, and she also had these desires. You know, she wants to be an artist, and I think that there was some, you know, attraction about that, which of course she would never really get what she wanted there. But also, they really did connect around films, even though she says at the beginning of the play, I don't want to talk about films, I don't want to talk about films, but that is something that makes them sort of click in a strange way. You know, they can sort of go into another world together, but it's very dysfunctional, obviously. And they have a lot to, you know, they have a lot of stuff to talk about, but it never really was what she wanted. And for him, I feel like he thinks he really wants her, but he's not able to do the work. And that's what she finds out. And she comes back to herself and realizes that she deserves a lot more than that. And I think she grew up to feel that she didn't really deserve much. And, you know, she didn't feel that she was seen, and she didn't feel that she was heard. And now she's in a situation like that again. But yeah, there's still something there. There's still a chemistry, and they do enjoy some things together. So it's a big decision. And then it's really hard for her when she sees them again.
Yeah. There's just something to this adage about, you know, running into someone that you have had such history with, and there's just something, just even the way you start it, there's something when you see couples coming together, and I don't know whether it's the romantic in us, the hope in us, whatever, but whenever that starts off, we're always rooting for people to find transcendence through whatever troubles they're having. And so I was just curious. I love the fact that their film is what they have in common, and the art world they have in common. And yeah, I was just curious as to how you thought about where the poles were, et cetera. Annette, how are you? So thank you for inviting me to this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for showing up. I know you're pretty much in the middle of what you're doing with shared screen.
Yeah, no doubt. But it was a joy to come on here, and thank you for turning me on to what's going on here. It's exciting. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all for the work.
Thanks, John, very much. Let me. Tom Alper actually says, a terrific performances, fantastic play. Love the way it was directed. Thank you, Tom. That's the best way to get cast, nepotism. Yay. And Alyssa Clossy, she says, great writing, great acting. There was a lot of good chemistry and push and pull with the actors. What was the symbolism of the need for Emily to have the painting? So you guys, anybody who wants to jump in.
I need the painting back to make my life whole again. I need to get the last thing back from Frank. When we signed the divorce papers, I'm totally done, and that painting obviously is important to me. And I know it is his umbilical cord to his mother. So I need to make this break and feel whole again.
And then we also talked about her relationship with her dad as well, how that symbolism with the painting and her father. So I don't want to, I talk enough. I'm leaving this.
First of all, I want to say hi, because that's my daughter, Elisa.
Oh,
Elisa.
Great.
I'll be right back. My daughter is calling me.
So the painting, I think somehow becomes her. It becomes Emily. It becomes her way of holding on to herself. And I think that for Frank, he's doing everything he can not to give it back to her. Because if he does, like he's gonna.
What Michael did, didn't he?
He's gonna just pull away. I mean, he won't have anything of her left. And I think also he's kind of married to his mom in a way. So he wants to keep that painting, but I mean, he can't see her, but he could see the painting. I mean, because there's a line where she says, it's right in front of you and you can't even see me. But I think for her, it's some level of sort of survival. Like, I've got to have that painting back. It just becomes bigger and bigger as the play goes on. And I think everyone can sort of interpret it a different way, but I think for Frank, it's like the last thing that he wants to let go of.
Right. Right. It's that last hook. It is. It's very much that, he feels that as long as he can still hold on to that painting, he still has a bit of Emily.
Yeah, a piece of her. Yeah.
Right. Right.
I'm right here, hon.
So I'm going to go to Sharon. to Sharon Shane. So Sharon, you are unmute. You are. Just unmute yourself, Sharon. Sharon, are you here?
Okay.
There you go. Great.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for calling on me. I had to talk. I couldn't wait to talk. First of all, kudos to the actors. I just thought I really felt your relationship and the pain of it and the separation. It was wonderful. But this play, I can't really talk because it really, really resonated with me. Being an actor, and I'm a painter myself. I'm a painter and a sculptor. So not to go into a whole mishegas, but when my husband passed away, that was the only thing, that was what saved me, my art. So I understood this woman about everything that you said about empowering women, and that she had to have that painting, because that painting is like, it's her soul, it's her innards. And I just felt so deeply for this woman. And I know what it's like when, you know, you suffer if it's the loss of a person, if they die, or if you go through a divorce. A divorce is a death. It's a death of a marriage, a death of love, and how she has to have this. And also what you said about the family, I got that, definitely, because when I married my husband, I came from a very dysfunctional family, and I loved his family so much. And when he died, they cut me off terribly.
Oh.
So to this day, it was such a loss. So everything that you talked about, I really felt so deeply. I just hope that you go on with this and explore it more, because, you know, that art, that's especially now when I'm so happy that I have my painting, my sculpture to go to when there's not that much acting work around, because that's what keeps me going. And I just understood this woman and her need to have it back, because it's like, it's her soul, her identity. Anyway, I'm going on too much, but thank you. It was.
You're wonderful, Sharon. Thanks.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna, I'm gonna go to John next, but I have one question from Milton Cornfield. And he says, great job. Everything was so tightly bound together and absorbing. What are we to make of Frank's seeming not to realize she was leaving the apartment, and all he can do was watch the movie on TV? And that's from Milton and Marion. So I'm gonna ask.
Hi, Milton and Marion. Thanks for watching. So are you asking me?
Yes. And anybody else who wants to chime in.
Okay. Frank is very clueless, and I think that he's really self-absorbed. Sorry, John.
I am in real life, so what the hell, I don't care.
And I think there were many moments in the second scene where I was talking to Annette about it today, where it was clear that she needed to leave. And the idea of Frank going over and over the same movie, he's stuck. You know, it's kind of like in Blue Valentine, where the characters are, I think it was, there was a review that was saying that Cindy was the train and Dean was the station. And it's the same thing here, because basically, you know, Emily is moving and she's the train. She's changing, she's growing. Frank isn't. Frank is still stuck in the same place, and he's probably never going to write that scene that he said he's going to write. But I think at that point she sees it, and Frank doesn't even notice that he did a lot of insensitive things that I don't think that he understood that he did. And then she decides, you know what, I've had it. So he just is, you know, watching the movie while she takes off.
Anybody want to else add to that?
Well, it's you know, it's a continuation of John's personality to think of himself. You know, I stayed overnight. He got what he wanted. Now let's go to what I want the movie.
Not John.
I don't care what you need anymore. I got what I needed, and yeah, you're here. So I think I got you now. But
I
that's
try and pass that philosophy on to my children, of course.
So it's like he doesn't need to pay attention to me. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get her the painting, which I don't even trust maybe that he called. And then it's like, doesn't want to talk about the marriage or anything, just wants to go
And he
back to.
definitely, yeah, and we also talked about his sense of loss, that Frank has this, Frank doesn't do well with loss, and he just holds on to things without really understanding why. And so.
Well, we also have to mention the fact that Frank basically lied to her big time by saying that he texted his mom and he didn't text her. And I think that was one of the events of the play.
Really a big turning point.
He's more committed to his mom than he is to.
Right.
It has to do with Emily. So.
Okay, John Solari.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I enjoyed the play. I mean, the writing was wonderful.
Thank you.
And it takes place in New York. It always brings me back. My friend Virginia lives in Dakota, and she has Pollock's paintings.
Wow.
She had Dawn Gallery in the 60s back then. But yeah, I wanted to know something about Emily's character, if it was the director or you who came up with that idea about the painting. Was that a collaboration between you and the director?
No,
yourself?
Yeah, the painting was very much on the page. It was very much.
Her interpretation, why she needed it. Was that your idea or her idea?
Well, we definitely mined it. There is, I mean, the painting, one is it, and this is actually on the page, it relates back to her relationship with her father. So this was her father had no, didn't really acknowledge the fact that she was an artist until the day that he left. So the day that he leaves, he actually says, you know, I like that one. And she holds on to that saying, oh my God, my father finally acknowledged the fact that I have talent, that I'm an artist. And then he goes and he leaves the family. So that is sort of her last thread to her father's relationship. And that's with regards to that male in her life. And then the other male in her life, the fact that mom has it, it deals with both the mother and the mother-son. The fact that Frank is holding on to that, as we talked about earlier, as sort of the last thread, figuring that if he still has that painting, that there's still hope that he could keep that relationship going. But as we see, again, that's on the page, is that even once he gets the relationship, once he gets her back, he doesn't know why. So it's more this sense of loss that he's dealing with.
And most men are insensitive. Women believe that, you know. You really believe we're insensitive, but I doubt that. The work was really good. I was captured by it. Are you studio members, or I know you said HB?
You guys share. John is.
You're a studio member. I thought you looked familiar.
In New York. Yeah, in New York. Annette, are you?
I'm not Actors Studio, but I was at HB for years, and I know Carolyn is Actors Studio.
Well, HB.
And
know,
HB.
My favorite book is by her, Uta Hagen, The Challenge for the Actor. I recommend it to everybody. As we know, Salome Jens said it was the best book on acting ever written. And I believe that. You know, I'm a big fan of that. But the writing was really, I love women writing. There's something about, it brings out, as an actor, I find when I listen to a woman's writing, it just, you know, it makes me feel so inadequate.
Oh, God.
Really, in a sense, because as a man, I really never, like when you said being insensitive, the things that I did to women and all that, it just, you know, it comes out in your writing, the hurt that we can cause a woman.
Great.
Wow.
That's what I felt here.
John,
I felt the pain of the woman not being acknowledged by the man.
Right, right. And John also, Carolyn's a member of the PD unit in New York. So the PD,
Right.
Play Development Unit in New York.
When I was there was, what's his name? Yeah, I miss New York. He had a great one. What's his name? Who wrote, what's his name? Who ran the Lyle does it now, right?
Lyle
Kessler.
Yes.
Way back when I was doing Gary Gilmore. Who wrote the Executioner's Song?
He wrote the Executioner's Song.
He was
What about Norman Mailer?
you know, Mailer was the writer, was running the writers'
Yeah,
unit.
he used to, he used to switch off all the time on Mondays on the PD unit.
Yeah, I used to go.
There's always somebody new.
Yeah, it was, when I used to go, there was always,
Yeah.
it was Norman. And then his wife. His wife was a member out here,
Yeah, Norris.
His first wife.
Oh yeah, wow.
First wife. She was a member out here. Anyway, it was great work. And Todd, thank you.
Thank you,
We're gonna
John.
do another one. I learned how to record the shows now.
Okay, good. Anytime. Anytime.
Great work.
All right. Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Okay. I have just going to bring up a couple of things, and then we're going to end in about 5 minutes. So one person says, you did a wonderful job with the backgrounds and sets for each actors. Were there any challenges or benefits with working online? Yeah, there's both. I mean, this is just a different animal. So this is I mean, obviously there are challenges because the actors not only are acting, but they're also their own tech person. So there's movement, there's the propping up of the computer, there's lighting, I mean, every show we do, there's always an actor who will say, okay, do I get paid for lighting this and moving my set as well? Every time. So, and that's true. They have a lot to do. So it's very rarely is it just somebody where they just have to jump in front of their computer, in front of the camera and go, hey, I'm here, let's make this work. There is lighting, and as we get better at this format, we do use much more of the environment. We use much more of the set. I don't believe it's a reading. I believe it's a production. So whatever kind of production it is, I mean, obviously it's live stream and obviously people are on book, but we do want to make it as involved as possible. So it's the animal. You have to know how to work with this format and not treat it as theater and not treat it as TV and not treat it as film and not treat it as radio and treat it as all of it because it's a hybrid of so many different things and that's really what it is. So Tom says to the actors, what were the acting challenges? Peter, I'm going to get to you in a second. Don't go away. What were the acting challenges you both faced not being able to be in the same space? So you guys want to address this really quickly?
I think that's less of an issue the more you work on Zoom because you just it's a very intimate space that you create. It's actually more intimate than watching a film almost because you're your own camera as well as the actor. And so you're moving in and out of it and you end up you feel like you're in the same space even though you're not. So it's it's a hump to get over and it is a very different idea than being on stage by all means because you don't have the feedback from the audience, you don't have all that different kind of energy, but you do have a very intense relationship with whoever your acting partner is.
Right, very much. Yeah, very much. I mean, and interestingly enough, that's sort of outside of the tech, that's the first thing that people bring up, that actors bring up. They say, we don't have the feedback from the audience. It's just because you really miss it. You really, really miss it. So that's very common. John, any thoughts?
For me, this is not difficult because I do a lot of voiceover work. And so I'm in there doing stuff and nobody is, there's nobody other than me in a little booth, so I'm kind of used to this.
Right.
So that type of work, helps in doing the Zoom work. And I think as an actor, if you are connected to your, the intent of your character that you're portraying, and if you're listening to the other actor, Zoom can be just as artistic a medium than anything else. It's just another form.
Thank you, John. Peter, you're on. Peter Flood.
Hey, I'm dying to know, Annette, what was the glitch? The glitch.
Oh, good.
Speaking of, you handled it very well. My kudos. I deeply love your suffering there on screen, but you hung in there and bent it to your will. So congratulations. What was the glitch, though?
I don't think I'm going to tell you. I think God is my savior in that.
Good job.
Did you lose the script? How did it go? What was?
Yeah. I lost the script.
Well, that's the. Were you on simultaneous? I mean, the screens you had on your screen. Well, it's interesting.
There was one page, probably. I mean, there was a a page of really good dialogue, and I'm oh God, Carolyn, I'm so sorry. But
You did a good job. You did a very good job.
It was great. Actually, it's funny how reality enhances everything. No
Yeah, it
matter
was
what
really
is.
good. It was wonderful.
You know, I wanted to be able to talk
Read
about,
scripts.
and
Anyway,
the thing about my dad
that's good.
being in,
I just didn't. I just want to say one quick thing about the painting itself. All the changes that were made in the play, in the writing, were centered on the fact about the painting and what the meaning of the painting was to Emily, especially the line about not giving not giving something away. She can either give herself away, she gives the painting away. The two are the same. So taking herself back from the relationship with Frank. It's interesting. Frank's an interesting character. I think, it's an interesting area of exploration, actually, because I think he's kind of in I mean, this is kind of an old myth motif about puer aeternus, about prolonged childhood.
Yes.
And even the myth of Parzival and so forth. Has a dominant mother. He stays in a state of innocence, and he's kind of lethal. He is not he's very lethal within his own innocence, because he doesn't know, who he's going to defeat. And the fact, anyway, it's an interesting area for the characterization itself, the exploration of it, where one character or the other isn't artificially condemned in the action of the narrative. Anyway, it's enjoyable. Thank you, guys.
Exactly.
Peter, I want to thank you so much, Peter. You were just incredible to work with.
It's a pleasure, Carolyn. Thank you.
It was,
it was
my
a lot of
pleasure.
fun. A lot of fun for everybody. Everybody. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed working on the piece and the emergence of the piece on its own terms, in a way. I mean, the surfacing of the narrative, which I kind of always tend to think of as a separate entity. It basically, is a cast member. It's everything. It has its own voice. If you listen to it long enough, you kind of hear it.
Right.
And
Just
it's
so everybody
effective.
knows, Peter and I tag teamed. So
We did.
Peter's working a lot. So congratulations. And so we tag teamed on this piece, which was wonderful.
It's a pleasure.
Which was
Thank you, Todd.
It was such a treasure to me to be working with both of you. It was really phenomenal. And of course, my actor's amazing. And I want to thank Elliot Krimsky's music as well. I thought that was
Elliot, wonderful.
Hey,
Definitely
Elliot.
a family affair. Yes. So Elliot did the opening music and the transition in the center. So we're going to do one more. Judy, I can't see your last name. Judy
Rosenblatt.
Hi, Judy. You're on.
Hi, Annette. Well, I really liked it very much, and I may have missed something because my cat ran out of the apartment for a minute or two, and I had to get her back. But I have a question for you, Annette. I'm not quite sure why she spent the night with him.
well,
I know you say you're lonely
yeah, it was lonely, and there's a vulnerability to him because
of
he's
the
charming.
painting.
We had things in common that we loved. We loved to talk about film. He had a love-hate thing with art, but it was so important to me anyway. And I didn't have her family anymore. And his mother was also important to me in a funny way because I'm an artist and I kind of want to impress her to a certain point. But yeah, I think it's one of those things like in Blue Valentine. It's like a series of incidents, a series of things happen that build into this unknown situation where you go, what am I doing here? But as it's going along, in the first scene, all I want to do is get out of there. I don't want to even be with him. And then that's talking about film and he wants, he needs my help. I mean, those things they trigger your vulnerabilities in your old relationship and the things. I was trying to find if there was something still there.
Yeah.
So, by staying with him and watching the film again, try to get back to that old feeling that, yeah, we are rambling about films because we love to do that.
Right.
So, but it all falls apart.
I liked it very much.
Thank you, Judy, very much. And we're going to go on this last question and answer. Gary Goldstein asks, aside from the painting, why is fractals a metaphor for the relationship? So Carolyn, I'm gonna,
Well, the word fractals comes from fracture, but the idea of patterns that are repeated over and over again. So fractal patterns, which are found in Pollock's paintings. So it's very symbolic of what's going on here. And also, using Lee Krasner is important because she is someone who cuts up her pieces and she reconstructs them. And that's very much Emily. That's what Emily's doing. So, so nothing's random in a way when you look at Pollock's work in terms of what we do in our lives, we do follow patterns, a lot of us. And I think that Emily brings up in the first scene, or I think it's the second scene, that she read this article about how we end up with someone because of patterns as opposed to, happiness. So the Pollock painting was a symbol, of fractals and of a kind of a fracturing, but also the patterns that just go over and over again. And Emily's job was to, basically to cut that and to be free. She was going to break out of it.
Great.
And she did.
great. Thank you. All right, guys, we went a couple minutes over, but thank you to everybody.
Thank you, everybody. And Todd, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's
Thank
such a
Jon
pleasure.
so much. Annette, thank you so much. And
You guys, I'm going to send you a quick Zoom link as soon as we wrap up, and we're going to do like a toast.
Okay, great.
A quick toast. But to everybody out in the world and in our audience, thank you again for joining us. Remember to support Smart Film Theater, and you'll find that on the website. And I'll let you know about next week. Right now, we're looking like it's time for a vacation. We need 1 week off, and then we're going to jump in and be busy right through the fall into the break. So we're not going anywhere. And thank you guys for joining us every week. And have a great week, and we'll see you very, very soon. Okay? Thank you.
Hi, Barbara. Hi,
everyone.
Alicia. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Elliot. Say hi to family.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'm glad you came.
Thank you. Bye-bye.